Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be doing a brief overview of the Stash debit card and stockback. If you are at all interested in learning more about Stash, or if you want to see my overall portfolio, please do come check out my channel and I have a lot more information about it on there. And if you're just interested in all of the different companies that I've gotten stock back in, just fast forward about a minute because I am going to do a brief overview of how the stockback works with the debit card. So this is just very simply how it works. If you were to buy gas at Shell, you would get stock back in Shell. If you were to get stock back in just some local store or one that's not listed with a stock on Stash, you would get stock back in the Stocks Worldwide ETF. And then if you were to buy something at Walmart, you would get stock back in Walmart. So just adding on to that, you can get stock back by shopping absolutely anywhere, and you just pay with your Stash debit card and you get stock back rewards, very similar to cash back with a credit card. And then you'll earn 0.125% stock back on your purchases, which is really not going to amount to much on those smaller purchases, just 1 or 2 cents of stock back. And you will earn up to 5% with the bonuses, which is really exciting, and I'll touch more on that in just a second. So if I go to stock back, I can see here that Stashers have already earned almost 3 million stock back rewards, which is very exciting, and I definitely look forward to seeing this number grow as Stash grows with more and more users. So as you can see here, I've earned $5.15 in a couple of dozen different companies from my stock back rewards from 74 transactions. And I want you to keep in mind that those are all from really small transactions when I'm just going to pick up a couple things from the store or get a little bit of gas. I'm not paying any kind of bills with the Stash debit card. If I were paying for bigger bills with the Stash debit card, I would be seeing, 30 or 40, maybe even $50 from 74 transactions. And I've actually done a review video on someone who is paying a lot bigger bills with the Stash debit card, and they have over $40 now in stock back rewards. So I'm going to leave it in the description and definitely go check that out if you're interested. So these are the bonuses that I referred to just a second ago. Right now, the current bonuses are 3% stock back in Uber or Lyft. So if you were to spend $100 in one of these companies, you would get $3 back in stock back for your Stash portfolio. And there are also current bonuses of 1% on Spotify, Netflix, and Hulu. So in no way is the Stash stockback ever going to make you rich, but it is definitely very cool to see all of the different companies that you earn a little bit of stock back in over time, which is really why I signed up for it and why I've really enjoyed using it and why I'm going to continue using the Stash debit card. So let's finally get into my stockback rewards. So when I signed up for the Stash debit card a few months ago, they had a 3% stockback bonus on Walmart. So I spent about $100 at Walmart getting some groceries, I believe, and I got $3 stock back in Walmart. And then that very same month, they had 2 or 3% stock back in Amazon, and these have been my favorite stock back rewards that they have done all year. And I'm not as impressed with some of the other ones they've done, like the current ones with Uber and Lyft, which I really do not use very often. So I'm really hoping these will roll back around in November, December time, because I think a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of major spending at Walmart and Amazon during that time. And then Stocks Worldwide is the Stash ETF that they use to give you stock back on purchases that are not offered by stocks on the Stash debit card. So for example, if your local grocery store does not have a publicly traded company or just is private or not on Stash, you would get stock back in the Stocks Worldwide ETF. And then I have bought a flight on Southwest and gotten stock back with them, as well as done 14 very small purchases from Dunkin' Donuts, probably 14 separate coffee orders, and gotten 14 cents of stock back with them. I've bought probably a video game and a few movies on the Xbox, and everything I buy on the Xbox gives me back Microsoft stock back, which is really cool. And then I was on a Carnival cruise this summer and paid for one of my excursions with the Stash debit card, and I got 11 cents stock back from that. Next, I have linked my iTunes account to my Stash debit card and made a few in-app purchases on a few apps and gotten 7 cents in stock back with Apple. And then I went to IHOP and paid for dinner one night and got 5 cents back in Dine Brands Global. And then I also did the same thing for Cracker Barrel, got 5 cents stock back with them. And I purchased gas one time at Shell, got 3 cents stock back. Next up is the Coca-Cola Company, and you actually might be wondering how I got stock back in Coca-Cola, because you'd normally buy it at like a gas station or at a grocery store, and then you'd get stock back at the grocery store, but I actually bought a couple of drinks from a vending machine and I got stock back in Coke that way. And then I bought a couple of movie tickets from AMC theaters and got 2 cents in stock back with them. And then I got a couple of things at Dollar Tree, got a cent of stock back with them. And then I also got a cent of stock back with Berkshire Hathaway, which is a little bit confusing. You might be wondering how I got stock back with them. And it's actually because I went and bought something at Dairy Queen, and it's actually owned by Berkshire Hathaway as well as Geico. So if you were to buy your insurance with Geico or buy something from Dairy Queen or one of the other companies that Berkshire Hathaway owns, then you would get stock back with them, which is pretty awesome. Until this happened a couple of weeks ago, I did not know that you could get stock back in ETFs or something like Berkshire Hathaway. So it's pretty cool that you can, and you can definitely get a lot more stock back this way. I got the Pepsi stock back the same way I got Coke. I bought something from a vending machine, got a cent of stock back in Pepsi. Darden Restaurants, I got stock back with, I bought a drink from a Longhorn Steakhouse in an airport, and then I actually got a cent of stock back with Darden Restaurants, which was pretty awesome. And then with McDonald's, a few months ago, they had a 5% stock back bonus with McDonald's for one day only, and I went to McDonald's and bought something the very next day, thinking I was going to get the 5% stock back bonus, and I ended up, they did not have the bonus anymore. It was just for one day, so I only got 1 penny of stock back, so I was pretty disappointed about that. And then I also had a very small purchase at Target and got a cent of stock back with them. I am going to put a link in the description of a Stash debit card review of someone who spent a lot more on the debit card than I have. So if you're at all interested in that, please do come and check that out. And if you do have any questions about stock back or the Stash debit card, please do let me know down in the comments below, and I will be sure to do my best to answer that. And subscribe for more content if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching to the end.